Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world of darkness, and welcome to, well, I guess Rage Across Street Magic. In this little crossover scene, we will see Violet, who has been, she's been working. She's been busy for the past couple of days. She's been actually pouring a lot of emotion, preparing for something that is going to happen in the last day, probably losing herself in her paintings. And well, now she's almost over. She still feel that perhaps one of them still some finishing touches, but most of all, she has two samples to show to her, well, perhaps patron or perhaps well, colleague in the charity event. So she would have sent a message to Sina, uh, proposing to her that, you know, she comes and she judge a little bit of the quality of the work, because as she said previously, let's not engage ourselves in something if you think that my art is not good enough for you, kind of feel. So she would have sent an address to Sina, which is near one of the numerous University of New York. And if she would go there, I mean, if she doesn't, that would be extremely weird. She will see that it's a big it's a big house that looks kind of like a warehouse. You can guess that pretty much it must be some place where people from the liberal art go, where they can work in peace on their project without being bothered by others. And after this very long intro, I guess this is where we can start our scene.
And yes, and I will accepted the invitation and made her way over. She is armed with her own photo camera, and which has in a backpack. But as she sees the warehouse and kind of the artistic style that it has, like even on the outside, um, she grabs her camera and she starts taking a couple of pictures from like uh, some weeds that are like busted through cracks in the in the walls, and some of the paint that's been wearing off, the puddle of water that's like underneath one of the sinks, but like the places where water drips out from the roof. Um, so she's probably late at by the time that she actually is ringing the door. She's probably like 15 or 20 minutes later because she got distracted. And to be fair, it's been a long time since Sina had taken the opportunity um, to actually do something regarding her photography. So she quite enjoyed it. And had lost track of time, quite possibly. So, say like 20, 30 minutes later, then the appointed time, the doorbell rings, or there's a knock or a tap or whatever you have you on the door.
Pretty much you have big double doors. Uh, Pretty much everyone can be free to enter. There's probably, uh, a vigil, or at least someone who's on the front, either checking students' IDs and other things like that, to make sure that, for example, the football team doesn't decide to go, yeah, let's make a party inside.
In that case, we'll go over to the receptionist, so to speak. Taps on the wood of his desk. It's like, hey, I have an appointment with Violet. She said to meet me here. Cinna. Harris. You know
he
what she meant?
he looks at Cinna for a second, sees that she's she's not a jock, so he just he nods, probably also seeing your material that doesn't really distinguish you from the people that goes into the warehouse. He nods and waves you that you can enter, as he's as probably 1 or 2 seconds later you can hear him snapping at someone testing the wall with his football. Yes, well, I mean, if you want, I will roll fate die to see if he's. Let's roll.
Whatever you want.
Oh well, yes, he's very educated. He yeah, he recognized you. So let's retract for a second. Yeah, he recognized you and he lets you enter. Probably asking you if if he can take a picture of you with his phone.
Sure, that's no problem as long as you at least let Violet know I'm here. That would be great.
He pretty much tells you that she's generally in room 12 of the warehouse, and well, he can't really accompany you, but he indicates you how to get to room 12.
Yay!
Yay!
She'll she'll let this guy take a picture if he really wants. And then we'll make her way to room 12. Just looking around, looking really actually interested as she looks at whatever other people are making. She went to art class herself, like she did a school arts education, so she's actually rather interested in what these students here are doing and making. She'll keep herself to peeking through windows and doors that are open, as she is already late for her meeting with Violet, and as she finally reaches room 12, now 40 minutes over time, she will again knock on the door and will wait.
When you knock on the door. The door actually, slightly open. It's not closed, but you probably, yeah, you probably hear a very slight snore.
Right. She'll knock again a bit louder. She's English, like she won't just barge in like
that. I'm gonna roll a fate die for the fun. Nope. Nope, your knocking doesn't wake her up.
That's, okay, let's see how her curiosity is on her patience. Okay, her curiosity is div 8, so she, yeah, let's see. Okay, she's not that impatient, but she's kind of curious as to what's going on there. So, she's pushing the door open slightly, just poking her head around. Probably not actually that much older Violet, I think so. Just poking her head around the corner and looking and not actually getting in just yet.
And I mean, when you open the door, you've seen a little bit of those rooms. They're not extremely big, but people have enough space to work on their own. Um, I will mute you just for the echo.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. Uh, so yeah, as you enter, you can see that the room has been decorated a little bit. There's actually a little hammock in the room, where you can see that apparently the artist is currently sleeping a with a book on her face. And when you take more attention to the inside, you can see that there are a lot of painting a little bit everywhere, but they're not, from paint can. You can see that there are little recipients with a little bit everywhere, some pigments, some oil. You can probably guess that she's she's making her own paint apparently. And well, you can see that there are two paintings. There are some studies in one corner of the room, but you can probably guess that the painting that she was talking about are the ones that are present here.
Okay. So once she looks inside, but since she failed her curiosity roll,
Mhm.
she cannot resist just getting inside as stealthily as possible. She really doesn't want to, just barge in. I know. This is very, very unlike the Sinai of a year ago. It's so weird. But she's grown up. She's learned how not to disturb people just like that. But she's very curious, and she probably can't have a clear view of the paintings of the study. So she's also rather interested on the paints that are being used and stuff like that. I mean, she's an artist as well, so yeah,
Mhm.
she's interested in this. So she very or as sneakily as she can, she goes inside.
Mhm.
Um, and just studies she studies the paintings.
Mhm.
Actually, this takes also a couple of seconds to like take pictures of like the setup of the paint and everything, like a couple of pencils sticking out of the pot and everything, just making
Mhm.
pictures of that as well because hey, I fuck that. Takes pictures of the paintings. Takes a picture of
Well,
Violet while she's busy as well. Why the fuck not? And yeah, it's just kind of rummaging silently through the room. Also looking
yes.
for coffee or anything.
So yeah, I guess it's probably a little bit funny to see because uh, Violet Violet you can see that she's wearing she's wearing overalls. Uh, she's wearing overalls with which are dirt with paint. She got paint all over her hands, but the hamac is super clean. She's got this book on her face. But uh, if you take a look at the painting, since you have a little bit of time, uh, you can see that the first one is apparently finished, or at least you would judge that it's finished. It is this one, or because yes, I have been doing search, people. So this is the first one, which we shall call 12 success for a painting, until of course we get a more artistic name. And the one that is not yet complete, but still a little bit of elements are not yet over. But yes, this is for now still equally 12 success painting. And since, well, Cinna is making some worm tainted breuvage, the the smell is going to start to awaken Violet, who takes the book out of her face and looks a little bit around because last time she checked, I mean, she had cold coffee and not, freshly made one.
Actually, what book was she reading? I'm kind of interested in that, so I would have noticed.
The book, that she was reading. No, 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 no. Let me rethink. Uh, because I had the name, but uh I need to just check the name. God damn it. Uh, Brev- yes, it's the Children of Uren from Tolkien.
Oh, okay, that one. I know that one. Okay. Um. So yeah. And as Violet is looking around, there is a fresh cup of coffee next to her. Because yes, Jenna took the time to make coffee. And Sina is standing at the window, having a cup of coffee in hand as well, just staring outside.
She she looks around from her little hamac, and she says Cinna. She looks at her watch. Uh, I overslept, didn't I?
Unless there's some way of showing me that you have great skills in concentration. Yeah. Sina turns her back towards the window now and looking at Violet as she sips her coffee.
You can throw a perception alertness if you want.
No, why not?
I still wait for a scene in the Living World of Darkness where someone say, "You can throw a PNE or a perception alertness if you want," and the person say, "No, I'm not. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in your PNE or your PNA." Huh.
Yes, basic successes.
Okay. You can see that her eyes are reddened, and she has bag under her eyes. The
English,
state.
we're not telling. Uh, she'll just ask. She'll basically, out of politeness, ask. So how are you?
Uh, I'm fine, I guess. I just I had a rough night. Didn't get much sleep.
Right.
So, how are you?
I'm fine. What?
I'm laughing out of character because out of character, being your alpha, I know, I know all the shit. I know all the shit. I know that's a filthy lie.
Oh, let me roll my manipulations of you then. If you really want to.
Oh, come on.
Yeehaw, one success.
Wow.
No puberty. Come out of here.
Well, I guess we're going to start off again our famous, yeah, I'm trying out my poker face and I see your poker face and you see through mine. so,
Probably, yeah.
so yeah, she she sees that probably, she knows because she told Noah number of time and other people, I'm fine. She told it before. She knows. She she nod as she take a sip from the coffee. Thanks. So, uh, well, I don't know how long you've been here, but so do you have, as an artist, do you have a critic to make over this?
They're quite pretty. They're very beautiful. I think they sew well. They look like they would attract attention, and they have a certain serenity to it. They're nice. Well, I wasn't here very long, to be honest. I was running a little late. I felt I got distracted. But no, as far as I can see, they look alright. Yeah, look very nice. I'm not very much into painting myself, so I can't give you more than the details of what I see. But yeah,
I mean, uh, coming from Cinnamon Harris, you're getting told that it's fine, it's nice, it's already something.
well, I wouldn't say that. Like, give me a photo, and I could tell you. I could say more about it. It's just to all of us our own expertise. I may have a name, but not in painting. So
Mm.
yeah, as I said, they seem to have a certain peace and quiet over them. I kind of hope that that's what you were trying to go for. I do kind of get the feeling that they lack a certain sense of emotion, like you were trying to block it out while painting this, and really trying to find quiet in yourself as you were painting these.
Huh. Uh, she she makes a pause as she observes the painting. Honestly, for for this kind of event, I feel that all the things that are happening inside me, they shouldn't be on painting, or hmm, at least not for selling, because I know I could interest people with a more personal take, but if this is going to be a charity and things, I guess people are looking for something a little bit more classic rather
Yeah,
than
no,
torturous turmoil of emotion.
no, I totally get where you're coming from, and I think actually it is a perfect idea that we call for quiet and calm and patience instead of shouting. We've done enough shouting. I think it's time that we show our softer side, and I think that these paintings fit in that picture perfectly.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I can still shout, but that's for that's for my musical performance.
Right, I see. I
That way,
don't.
at least I can have both.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't fit in my musical abilities. Then again, I'm sure I'm not that talented to match anyone on musical instruments.
I mean, really, ah, I think actually the worst thing is actually a critic. I mean, they are useful, but I think that art in any form is something that is deeply personal. That you can judge, uh, a drawing from the quality of your skills, how you use the shadows, how you're going to use the colors and all. But ultimately, if you like something, I mean, who's there to say, well, no, this is shit? Or if you say, well, when I look at this uh, thing that looks like a painting, but I'm not even sure if the artist just, took some painting and threw it at the wall to say art. Like I see an albatross flying freely over the horizon. Who are you to say no? This is clearly a representation of symbolism and how our self struggles within society to get free.
You can say that, but if you don't have any critics, then anything can become art. Like people are accusing us, people who don't know what they're talking about, are accusing practically all of us of making art cheap. Like you grab a toilet, you put it in a museum, and all of a sudden it's art. Like people fail to understand the rhyme and reason behind why we're doing things and why we're making things. I think the art critic, one who has learned to do this and who knows of art and understands art on a deeper level, like we do, I think those people
Hmm.
are very, very valuable in making art accessible to the main public.
Oh, I know. I agree with that, but it's more. hmm, how can I say? I mean, the critic, he will look at your art from a professional perspective, and that is fine. That is fine. That's what he's supposed to do. Bring you criticism from one who has studied, and not just someone who's going to look at your thing and say, oh well, that's shit. Well, thanks. That's very useful. Perhaps you could be more, well, tell more. But I feel I feel that the problem with some critics, or at least people who follows critic, is that they take the critics' word for face value, and don't forge their own opinion.
Hmm, I don't know. I've met critics that I don't like personally, but in the end they're questioners. And like we question people through our arts, or at least that's what I do. They question our way of questioning. And I think it's vital, especially in a society such as ours, that we have people who are genuinely asking the right questions.
Mm.
keeping us on our toes, keeping us sharp in a way. I mean,
Mm.
we need to, as artists, need to strive constantly to break through walls, perform better, and excel more and harder. It only makes sense that those questioners, those critics, are pushing us into becoming more than what we are now. And I think that's part of their job. Yes, I just
So
made art critics into rag about this for those
yes,
listening.
yes. Now I'm sorry, Saskia, but I will ask that you will buy, kinfolks, and all of them are critics. Kinfolk 5, Influence 5 critics.
Right.
Let's stay silent for a little bit, listening. She nods as well. Clearly, this is someone who has more experience than she does in the world of art, and she still smirks at the end, saying, "I kind of agree. Well, except for one thing. Uh, have you read the YouTube comment section?"
I was talking about people actually who learned to do this. Like, yeah, no, not everybody can be a good critic. But, well, with social media and everything, the world becomes our critic. So, yeah.
Mm, but yeah, that's true. I guess I guess we all have different way of dealing with art. I mean, from what you're saying, you're using it kind of like a critique, which I can kind of agree. Seeing some of your previous work and also reading some of your articles, you're quite good at the critic thing. Uh,
Gotten
Personally,
me into trouble more than once, yeah.
well, I mean, not all critics are loved. That's unfortunately part of the job.
Unfortunately, yeah. But then again,
Hmm.
can you do? I have a big mouth. I like to use it.
But yeah, I guess my reason for art are kind of different. Personally, I try to I try to touch people, you know, I guess in a way we're similar because I also want them to I also want them to question, but I would like to reach a point where, when someone looks at my painting or at my drawing, start to ask question, be moved by what I do, and perhaps look at life in a different way. You know, the good old life changing experience.
That, that in itself is remarkable. It is, I don't know, it is, like I said, it's very commendable to try to change people. And I'm not saying that I don't try the same. I mean, at least one person, I think, there will be, at least by now, will be one person who will still think about my exposition at Battery Park and will hopefully think twice when they throw their rubbish away. It's something like we hope to achieve a change in a person, and if enough people are trying to make a change in one person, then in the end, the entire society will be moved. It's not easy. It's not easy to do.
Mm, yes, you can't force change, or at least you shouldn't. People have to make the choice themselves.
They have
You
to
can
open their
only
eyes.
you can only show them the way. to do so, but we have to
Yeah.
take the step. You can't, if you push people kicking their butts, I mean, that's going to be fun, but yeah, in the end, that's not really good.
No, no, that is not. Um, yeah. So anyway, about this our event, I was
Yeah.
thinking since the councilman is of the Bronx,
Hmm.
I was thinking about hosting this still in Manhattan, but on the north side. Either see if we can actually host it at Columbia University, because that way we will be able to reach a lot of students.
Mm.
Or I was thinking about one of the parks in the more northern regions of Manhattan, which will have
Mm.
the right space.
She's thinking a little bit, looking at her coffee. Well, mm, well, the park can be a nice idea, depending on exactly the core of the message. I mean, but we will have the space. That's true. The only problem, I guess, that I mean the councilman is going to face is that that's probably going to cost more in term of infrastructures because obviously, I mean, it's a park. Like there's going to need a lot of things to install and a lot more of people. At least I would say the good thing about Columbia University is that there, well, there would be students. So already you have a good target. You have infrastructures that can be used, and I guess it would be, I guess, easier to reach for people who wants to help to install things and help with charity in general. Both are
Thinking
valid,
about
I
logistics.
guess.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and I think we should definitely aim for Columbia. I'll see if I can host a meeting with some of the I don't know, student heads,
Mm,
maybe some of the deacons, or I don't know,
mm,
what it's called, university council or something.
mm. I'll check with Principal Celine. Uh, I think that she might be interested. I mean, I have a few of the art students and the musical classes um, from the high school where I work.
Hmm,
They might be interested in that.
yeah,
That can be quite educative. Mm.
yeah. I think if we look at university students, a lot of them would like, I think, to be involved in this. So we could have a cup. We could have like people who could probably get volunteers rather easily.
Mm. Yeah, volunteers would be certainly less problematic to find. And I mean, I've been passing the word a little bit around here, around the warehouse. I think I have a few people who are interested,
Hmm, that's
and
good to know.
and I've reached for some friends.
Hmm.
We're mm, we're interested
Okay.
in what well for the charity, but we're also interested as you are to roam a little bit into the mayor's business.
Hmm. Good. That's good to hear. I think we're gonna need every bit of support if we want to
Mm.
solve this in a way that doesn't destroy the city for ourselves.
Yeah, and I mean, we got as far as I know, and as far as I've discussed with my friends, we seems to have pretty good relationships currently. So might as well capitalize on this. And, you know,
It's good to hear as well. I've talked to a couple of friends of mine from the Bronx,
mm,
and I believe they're interested in helping along as well.
uh, duh, 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 duh. uh, I didn't catch exactly what you said. You said friends from where?
Bronx.
Oh, okay, from Bronx. Okay. Yeah. Well, she she nods. She nods, even if she she remember the good old rule: don't ever fucking go to the Bronx. Except that she knows someone from the Bronx.
Yeah.
uh, hmm. Well, yeah, I guess that kind of concerns a lot of people. Uh, have you have you gotten word from Jackson? Uh, I mean, I sent him a message, and he said he would certainly be interested.
Jackson.
Uh, she's she's going to, look around. Uh, she looks around. Clearly, she doesn't want people to hear, so she just roams into one of her books. She flips she flips pages, and you can see that the book uh, is mythical creatures. And she opened a page where you see a unicorn.
Mhm.
Uh, well, I mean, he's more smug with that kind of hipster look, big mouth,
Oh,
and
okay.
and she
Yeah,
taps she taps on the unicorn, and
right. Yeah, no. Sorry, I haven't spoken to him in a while. I guess we've both been busy. Mm, but I'm sure he's interested. Um,
yeah, mm, I've also well ah, mm, feels always weird uh talking about this uh and others, but yeah, I've sent him a message. I guess he will tell you it. I mean, he sounded interested, so I guess he's just being, I don't know, himself, I guess. Always seemed a little bit aloof.
eh, there's been things going on.
Mm. Yeah, I guess we all have our businesses.
Yeah.
Mm.
So anyway, um, that means that our next step is gonna be trying to get to the venue that we want, which is Columbia University.
Mhm.
It's cool. I'll do my part, and you do your part. We keep contact, see if we can get together with some of the higher ups to see if
Mm.
they're willing to tie themselves to this event.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to see with my people from those who showed interest if they can help make it easier.
Hmm, cool. Okay. Well, in that case, I think we've discussed most that needs to be discussed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, yeah. Places the coffee mug is actually it's like still half full. Places on the window. Takes a last look at the paintings and then walks towards the door, but before she actually opens it, she stops and turns to Violet again. Just starts leaning against the door. Just one thing before I go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what? You know where I live, right? General area.
Yeah. I mean, are we talking where you live, or where? And she doesn't she doesn't finish.
You know where most of my friends are.
Hmm. And she nods. Yes.
You also know that me and my friends can live a rather turbulent life.
Yeah.
Um, it might be because of certain developments. I have the feeling that um, there might be a chance that you won't hear from me again. You can ask um, Jackson about it,
Hmm.
and I'm sure he'll. I'll make sure that if something happens to me, I'll make sure that word will reach you through him. There's some issues, and I'm kind of in the middle of it, and it's reaching a point where it's going to be solved one way or another. But our people have a very fist-on mentality when it comes to solving issues.
She uh you can throw a peony. Uh she's biting her lower lips, and from her body language you can see that she want to ask something or say something, but she's not sure if she should.
So I'll just raise an eyebrow at that.
um can I You don't have to answer, uh but can I ask a question?
You can always ask.
And I'm sorry, Saskia.
Well,
um she she stops biting her lips, and she say, is this why I haven't heard from Ren for months?
so now I'll drum with her fingers against the door as she stares out of the window again, this time from her position at the door. Right. Um, different matter, but um, Ren is no longer here. She left.
That's a lie, and we know
That's a
it.
lie. That is not a lie. She has
well,
left.
well,
It's
that's
just not an entire truth.
yeah. I would still call a
But
manipulation
fair
check the
enough.
truth.
I'll roll something. Uh, activate persuasion. God damn it.
I mean, Cinna, that's almost as if you had something to hide.
Well, she has 3 successes to just keep it at that.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
she she nods. She nods and she breathes a sigh of relief. Thanks.
what?
No, I was. She she sent me a message uh, when all you know when she was all over the news, saying that
Oh,
she couldn't
yeah,
contact me anymore.
yeah.
So I didn't want to get my nose into you guys' business. So you know, I just I wanted to make sure that nothing bad happened. We hadn't finished discussion, her and I, but uh, I guess I guess perhaps one day I'll see her again in the corner of the street somewhere in the middle of Minnesota or wherever she went.
I'm so happy Suna still got it. Appearance substitute. Fucking Silver Fang. Stone Face. Bitch.
well, well, I would say for once because most of your roles with Violet have been quite shitty.
Hmm.
And
So, yeah, Suna's face doesn't show any kind of emotion. If anything, it shows that she is contemplating and staring out of the window. Um, she is not budging. She's keeping her face stiff and straight and emotional as she nods and she says, "I'm that wherever she is right now, I'm sure she's happy and she'll make sandwiches for everyone there."
she chuckles a little bit. Yeah, I guess. I didn't have the chance to test the sandwiches, but uh, I guess I'll have to imagine how it tastes someday.
Well, neither have I, to be honest. But they were famous, quite famous. Anyway, um,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll make sure that if anything weird happens, I doubt it. Don't worry. But should
Hmm.
it happen, talk to Lucas Jackson.
Yeah.
Didn't hear that, and I that I'm going now. Um, Nice talking to you again, Violet.
Yeah.
You do your part on Columbia University, I'll do mine.
Mm. Uh, I'll make I'll make some checks with some friends to see, and I'll keep you in touch.
That is cool. See you around, hun. And
Mm.
she'll smile and wink, then opens the door and walks out again.
And as Miss Pokerface leaves like a princess, like a regal regent, uh, Violet finish her cup of coffee, and she's going to she's going to open uh, one uh, one of the books as face her face changes a little bit, taking a uh, serious more serious face, and she's starting to draw in in the book as the drawing is more dark, more twisted, and there's a lot of anger in the way she is starting to draw. And I guess with that, we can call it a scene. Thank you, player, for playing, watcher for watching, and we will catch you next time on Rage Across Street Magic, a crossover. Oh.